TV
Everyday Life
is brought to you by
Star Times. Enjoy digital life.
All right, welcome back to Morning at NTV. My name is Idris Matu, and this is Everyday Life. Now, in studio, I have a guest from the UK. She's a football player for Crystal Palace, the female team. Jean Seninde. It's not Jean. Jean. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
How have you been?
Nice.
You're looking lovely.
Thank you very much.
All right, so what brought you back to Uganda?
So I came back because I'm organizing a Seninde Women's Development Cup, and this year is the second year running for the tournament. So I want to put on a good show this year.
All right.
So hopefully.
So this Seninde Development Cup, it's a tournament.
Yeah.
Right? What happens in the tournament, or what happened last year?
So we formed it up to give a chance to girls who have the passion and the desire to play football, but usually don't get the opportunities.
Okay.
So we excluded all teams who are part of the Women Elite League in Uganda. So that tournament is for the other girls who are not part of the...
Who are aspiring to be footballers, all right? So they form how many teams?
So we had 8 teams last year.
Okay.
We had 8 teams this year as well, but we've had so many questions, people asking why we don't add so many teams, because we have so many people calling in. But it's because there is free registration for the teams, and we are funding everything. So for us, it's about keeping that stability and having the right numbers so that we don't go into rush decision.
You know?
Yeah, so that the whole thing fails us at the beginning.
I totally get that. Now, you said girls.
Yeah.
Is it for young girls or also women?
So girls and women, because for the tournament, it's for the women and girls who have the desire and the passion to play
football,
but they've never got the opportunity to play in a normal game or just a chance to play. So that tournament is for them. So it's open. If you're 40 years old, you could still come. If you're 2 years old and you want to
Jane, you know very well that 40 years, you're too old for football. Eh?
Of course, but for us, it's never too late. And it's about people who have always wanted to play, but they've never got the opportunities.
Giving hope.
So we are giving them a platform to come and showcase their talent.
So how long is the tournament?
The tournament is a one-day event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
1 day only.
Yeah, obviously we put it one day because, like I said earlier, we are funding everything. We don't want the teams to pay anything because these are teams who have never got the chances to play. So putting it a one day is manageable for us, and it's a bit more fun. We want to do something unique and different.
Okay, so you keep on saying we. Who are you who are organizing this Seninde Women's Development Cup?
So it's the Seninde Foundation.
All right.
We have a board, but I also have Coach Nantanda Majida, the former women's national team coach. So it's us working together to make something happen for the girls.
What inspired you to form the Seninde Foundation? What inspired you?
So it's about giving back to the community. Seninde Foundation is a non-government organization giving back to the community through skills training, where we teach women how to make charcoal, how to make cakes.
Oh, nice.
So it's things that are going to help them make own businesses. We have the Children's Hope, where we are giving children opportunities to go in schools and study for free. And then the health sector, where we call upon communities to donate blood to hospitals. And then the sports sector, which usually runs through December, which comes into the Seninde Women's Development.
So what are the calendar events? If I am saying now I'm stalking Seninde Foundation, what are the calendar events in December? I know we have football, the Development Cup.
Yeah.
What happens throughout the year? You can just outline for us.
So we usually have our skills training running fast to up to about 5 months.
Okay.
And then when the women graduate, we go into the health sector. That doesn't take us so long, about just 1 month promoting that. And then we go into Children's Hope runs throughout the year anyway. We select children of about 6 people every year, give them the chances to go to certain schools on bursary. And then the sports part, which comes around December.
Talking about sports, because I know this is something that is close to your heart, and it's very important to encourage young girls like you to play sports. How did you get into football?
I was little when I started playing with my brother at home.
Okay.
So I would
Where was this?
in Uganda.
Okay.
We have a very big compound. So for me, seeing him play with other boys every day, and being a girl, it just kind of interested
You're like,
me.
I need to challenge this guy.
Yeah. So it was
All
fun
right.
to watch every day. I just wanted to be like him. So I think that's where I got the passion.
And then what happened? You know, people are
So-
curious about your story. We don't. It's not like every day we get someone from Crystal Palace. Yeah. So
Yeah.
after that,
So I went to Gaza Junior School.
okay.
But they didn't have football. But I always was waiting for that chance when anyone would create a women's team, because you know women's football hasn't been a
Yeah,
high.
yeah.
So when I went to Gaza High School, they formed a women's team. I was among the first people to join the team. I played that the whole of my O-level. Then I went to St. Mary's and I continued playing there. So when I got the chance to go to Charlton, I did not turn it down. I wanted to see how far I could get with it, because I had already decided it's what I want to do. And then from Charlton, I went to London Phoenix in Division 1 in the UK. And then I went to Queen's Park Rangers for 3 seasons. And now I'm at Crystal Palace.
Oh, wow. Well, if you have just joined us, I have the mighty Jane Seninde. She is a footballer with Crystal Palace, the female team. Don't start asking me about the men. We are talking about girls here. And she has a foundation, which is called Seninde Foundation. Now, the foundation has been running a tournament, which is called Seninde Women's Development Cup. Now, this tournament is to help young girls and women who have the dream. They have always wanted to play football, but they can't. And Seninde is saying, you can. You back at home, you are a woman, you are a little girl, you can be a footballer professionally, as she's doing now. How is work? Because I can imagine football in the UK, in the Premier League, is different from here at home. And you play also for Crested Cranes, the female team. How is that? How is juggling the two?
I mean, it's not that hard, because anyway, the national team is not that called as often for the women.
Yeah.
But it's good because I'm also still learning. I'm developing as a player, and my dream is to play more cups for my country, get called up all the time, and also to one day play maybe with the top clubs in the world as well. So at my age, I feel like I'm still learning, and hopefully I get there.
So the tournament, when is it happening?
So the tournament is on the 15th of December, and that's tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, we've been organizing this from the start of the year, so it feels good to know that it's coming around tomorrow. It's free entrance for everyone.
Where?
It's at the StarTimes Stadium at Lugogo, where the men's team play. KCC.
And if you're not aware, this part of the morning show is sponsored by StarTimes, so we are at home. Yeah. So at the StarTimes grounds.
Stadium.
Where?
StarTimes Stadium in Lugogo, where the men's team play KCC.
All right.
So we are starting at 8 a.m. and it's free entrance for everyone. So we're hoping everyone
come and
turns
support
up,
women and girls.
the women.
Yeah. So from what time? From 8 a.m.
to 5 p.m.
to 5 p.m. What are the activities we should expect?
So we should expect teams showcasing their talent. This year we've made the tournament a bit more diverse, and we've included 4 teams from up north of the country who are arriving today. We are going to host them at Chide Boarding Primary School, so that tomorrow everything is run on time. So we called it Development Cup because we want that development at every stage. That's the organization, the playing, and everything else that comes with it. But for us, it's more so also having fun and not taking everything too seriously, but enjoying it at the same time.
and you know, inspiring these kids. And when you say you want the women and little girls who want to play football to believe that they can actually take up football as a profession. One thing that we have noticed in Uganda, that football is not being pushed as it should. What's your take on the status of football in Uganda, and where do you think we should be by now?
I think as women, we should go back to the drawing board. It's doing things like this, involving the media to come on board to give that attention. going and involving the communities to support the women, because when we do things like that, we'll get the attention we deserve, and that will attract sponsors, which we need, and then we'll probably start competing just like the men are doing, because we need that equality so that we could be able to go to the World Cup one day.
You are living in the UK now, and you're participating in one of the biggest leagues in the world, football leagues in the world. Definitely, you have borrowed a leaf on how they do things that side. What would you tell the Ugandan government to maybe also even Ugandans to do differently who are interested in sports? Like, what would we borrow from there to here to push our sports? Because, my God, we've been on the brink always of qualifying for this, for qualifying for that, and we seem not to be moving. What are the things that you could say that maybe Uganda as a country should borrow to push sports forward, and especially football?
We need to take football more seriously. We need to know that this is something that is a brand on its own. So it could bring in a lot of money if we take it seriously as a nation, as players, more so men's side and the women's side. So we need to brand both of them differently, and also putting more funding, adding more money into the sport. That's, I think, for us, that's going to help us as a country.
When you talk about taking the sport seriously, I presume you're talking about professionalism, having academies. How does that happen, that side?
They don't really do anything different that we cannot do, but like I said, it's taking it more seriously. It's giving your time, because that's important. I think sometimes we get too comfortable here, where...
My God, every guest I have here who is not living in Uganda, when they come here, they tell me Ugandans are lazy. Are we lazy? Are we really that lazy? So when you say we're not taking it seriously, what have you noticed?
It's giving your time and volunteering. You don't have to necessarily earn out of giving your time or coaching kids or going to the communities. You can foot your bill and go and teach people. So I think that's one thing that I've realized we don't do as much here. But it's giving your time and allowing that you could do things for free just for the good of others.
When did you start? You said you got inspired when you were still a little kid. When did you start actually practicing, maybe training for football, like seriously, and say, this is a route that I'm taking?
When I was in high school, we had a tournament at Nachivo, and I saw some women playing, and I thought that was the moment I really wanted to do this for a very long time. But it hasn't come easy. I've had to work for everything that I've earned, and I'm still working. I haven't achieved my dreams yet. I'm hoping to get there one day.
Do you think we need academies here?
Yeah, for sure. Academies that have kids right from a young age. So we need the parents to get on board too, because that young age is when the kids are learning even more and faster. So we need kids to have the desire. We need parents to help the kids, to take them to the academies, supporting them.
Tell them that, you know what, it's not only about becoming a doctor, becoming a pilot, becoming a lawyer, becoming a president, which might not be possible, but it's also becoming a football player as a profession. Yeah. And one of the things most Ugandan players have come out to say is that I cannot take football seriously because there is no money. Is it different the other side?
And that's what I'm talking about, because it's that mindset that we are not taking it, because if we were taking it seriously, then you don't care if you have the money to go and do something. So for me, I find joy when I go to the communities and just see the girls smiling just to hold the ball.
How do the Premier League, that side, how do they fund, how do they get money to fund football? Do you know? If you don't know, we can just chill.
I think the FA puts the money in, but also the government is supportive. So we also need our government to come on board and maybe help out FOFA if they do need the help. So it's working together as a nation and knowing that football is one of the biggest sports in the world that's followed widely.
Facilities. We only have one, let's say, one big stadium, I think. Do you think also that affects on the development of the sport?
For sure, yeah, because you could see that sometimes when we go different surfaces, we could struggle, but these people are trained day in, day out in these facilities and they are used to them. And sometimes when they come over here, they complain of the pitches, which is
That has
weird.
happened. That has happened so many times. Now, last year, you had a tournament, and I guess because you're highlighting these little girls, these women who are playing, there was an outstanding player called Josephine Naule. Where is she now, and what kind of influence did she get from the Seninde Women's Development Cup tournament?
For us last year, seeing actually she wasn't the only one. We had about 5 girls through the tournament. They got bursaries to different universities that day, and then we had about 4 or 5 also getting places in the Women Elite League. So Josephine was a star player last year, and using her this year, I mean, it's something that inspires us and shows us we're on the right track with the tournament.
So where is she? What's happening to her?
She got a bursary with Uganda Matters Namgongo, which
Oh,
is
wow.
which it's something really big for her. That's like an opportunity of a lifetime to study the whole of your
study.
secondary for free.
Oh, this is nice. Now, the teams are coming from all over the country. What happens when you go back to your club? Like, we have the tournament, it's one day, then you leave us. What happens to us you've left behind?
Yeah. So for us, it's giving a platform to these girls,
Yeah.
and it's not only football but also learning things through the tournament. So if you don't become a professional footballer one day, you could become a referee, you could become a sports doctor, you could become a sports administrator. So we
Could
want-
become a fan. Well, before we round up, we are talking about football and developing women football. And I have Jean Seninde. I just keep calling her Jean or something. Before we go, any last few words?
Yeah, I would love to call upon all Ugandans to come tomorrow, starting from 8 a.m. I want you to come in big numbers because it's free entry. Come and support the girls at the StarTimes Stadium in Lugogo.
All right. Do not only watch Premier League, which is far away. We have a match here at StarTimes football grounds, Lugogo tomorrow. So go be part of a good cause. And tomorrow we have Super Friday. Coca-Cola is giving away free crates of soda. This festive season, all you have to do is call in and win a voucher to get yourself a crate of soda for your family, for your friends, and have fun on Christmas Day. Now, the other thing you can do is follow us on Facebook, which is NTV Uganda, or Twitter, NTV Uganda at NTV Uganda, or go to our website, www.ntvuganda.co.ug, or you can follow me at Idris Matu, which is EDRISMATU, on Facebook, Twitter, and tell me, who do you want to see on the show, or what do you want to talk about, or what haven't we talked about? Have a very good morning. Don't forget about tomorrow, Super Friday. Call in, win, 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 win.